So, welcome all. Uh, the meeting of the Port Wardens on Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 will be called at 7:01. In uh, in attendance, we have all Port Wardens here, Mr. Siegel, Mr. McCopp, Mr. Anderson, and Mr. Lerner, as well as myself. And we're joined today, Carrie Berger, our attorney, and then Mr. Meekins. We have Josh doing the IT, and actually Alderman Thorpe is joining us as well as a guest. So thank you all for being here. We have three or more, so we definitely have a quorum. Um, as far as the agenda, we've had this a few times in the past. We're going to need to modify the agenda, and we'll have to vote on it. So I'll need a motion, but let me just first explain it. The city is getting some new administrative people in place, and so we don't necessarily have the minutes yet from the Tuesday, January 27th. So we're going to need to amend the agenda, or I will need a motion to amend the agenda. We will not be approving the minutes from that particular meeting. If I can get a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Can I get a
second?
All right, Mr. Siegel, thank you very much. All right, so I guess let's all state, so all those in favor of the motion to amend the agenda by removing the approval of the minutes, please state aye or yes.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's unanimous. All five Port Wardens. Thank you very much. All right, now we need to have a very quick motion and second to approve the amended agenda. If I can get a motion for the approval of the amended agenda.
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lerner. Second, Mr. Siegel. Thank you very much. All right, all those in favor, please state aye or yes.
Aye.
All right, that was very good. Unanimous. Thank you guys very much. All right. So we have a number of findings of fact. We just got, there were some administrative elements and some small things that all of them were approved, but I have to go through the protocol. I don't need to read all the descriptors. They're public record. They're as all these are, plus people can review them. So I'm only going to read the port number and the address that's relevant. Okay. But let's go ahead through the findings of fact. We have a few from various dates. So basically from the November 25th meeting, 2025, I'd like to do a findings of fact for port 2025-00011, the Point condominiums. Quick overview again, it was the demo of the floating docks, fix, repair, and the all those again elements are online. Is there a motion to approve the findings of fact?
Motion to approve.
All right, Mr. Siegel, thank you very much. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Lerner, thank you very much. All right, all those in favor of the motion to approve the written findings of fact for port 2025 the Point condominiums, please state aye or yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. We'll go to the next one from that November 25th meeting, which is port 2025-00012, Spa Creek Marina Incorporated, Burnside. It was just a quick minor replacing of an in-kind floating pier, two different floating piers. Is there a motion to approve the written findings of fact?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Siegel. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Lerner, thank you very much. All right, all those in favor of approving the written findings of fact for port 2025-00012, Spa Creek Marina, please state aye or yes.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you very much. That was unanimous. All right, let's move on to the last one from that meeting, which was port 20. Oh, I'm sorry. We're into the next meeting, which was December 23rd, and this would be the findings of fact for port 2025-00147 Loudon Lane, and that was to replacement of the boathouse at 7 Loudon Lane. All those in favor of the motion to approve the written findings of fact for report 2025-00014, 711 Lane, please. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I need to get a motion first for that.
Motion.
All right, Mr. Siegel, thank you very much. Can I get a second for that findings of fact?
Second.
All right, Mr. Lerner, thank you very much. All right, all those in favor of approving report 2025-00014, Lounge Lane, please state aye or yes.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's unanimous. Thank you. The motion passes. Okay, so for another one for the December 23rd meeting, last one, the only other one, for that one is port 2025-00015, 1 Alden Lane. There's a failing bulkhead replacement with the living shoreline. All those in favor? Well, actually, I'm sorry, I need a motion for that particular port number. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
All right, thank you very much. All right, can I get a second? Mr. McCop, thank you very much. All right. All right. All those in favor of the to approve the findings of fact for report 2025-0015, Alden Lane, please say aye or yes.
Aye.
Aye. All right. That was unanimous. All five. Thank you very much. Actually, I shouldn't say all five. I am Mr. Scott Anderson.
Yep.
Go ahead. Unfortunately, I only have so many people who appear on this particular screen I'm looking at, so I'm not seeing your hand go up. And obviously, I think you missed maybe one of the meetings. So
That is correct.
okay, good. All right, so I shouldn't. You were missing from my screen with the hand going up. So we'll go back and look at the footage if I need that pure. But obviously, we had a majority. Okay, so let's move on to the January 27th meeting. These are our last few findings of fact. This will be for port 2025-00017, 5 Southgate. It was a demo pier, install new 4 by 40 foot with 5 foot literal setback. All right. Is there a motion to approve the written findings of fact?
I'll make the motion again.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Siegel. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Lerner. All right. All those in favor to approve the written findings of fact for let me make sure I'm on the right date. I apologize. For port 2025-00017, 5 Southgate Avenue, please state aye or yes. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So that was Mr. Anderson. You were not there. I'm sorry. Your image disappeared again. I didn't. You, Mr. Anderson, you weren't there at that time. I just want to make sure.
That's correct. I just got my service went off, so.
No worries. I just want to make sure it was only recorded as the 4 of us voted unanimous, and that you didn't in fact vote. All right, thank you very much. All right, so the last 2. So next item on agenda is finding of fact from the Tuesday, January 27th meeting, and that's the port 2025-00018, 11 Southgate. That was a simple install 1 mooring pile. Is there a motion to approve the finding of fact?
I'll make the motion again.
All right, Mr. Siegel, thanks. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. McCobb, thank you very much. All right, all those in favor of the motion to approve the findings of fact for port 2025-0018, 11 Southgate? Mr. McCobb, do you have a point? Are you voting or?
No, I'm just voting.
Getting ready. Okay, all right. All those in favor to approve that finding of fact, please state aye or yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so that was the 4 out of the 5. Thank you. And then the last one for the evening is all those in favor. I'm sorry, I need a motion for finding of fact for port 2025-00018, 11 Southgate. That was also to install a mooring pile. Whoops, did I?
Can we just vote on that one?
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry. We got those done. I was thinking we had a third. Thank you very much. We got the findings of fact done. Just letting everyone know, we don't have to vote. It simply was submitted to the city. Mr. Meekins put together our annual report. You all were sent that, and it's more facts and figures of what was approved through the year. So that went out, as you guys know. I just want to state it for the record. Next item agenda is the chair position election. This effectively will discuss I am willing to continue if you guys want it. If someone else has an interest, please express it, and it might be a great time. However, we want to, we will obviously, we sort of will discuss and have. Does anyone have an interest in being chairman?
I do.
You have interest in being chairman this year. Okay. All right. I guess, I mean, we have a discussion based on this, so we sort of put a slate together. I certainly don't mind continuing it. I also don't mind really, is there anyone else who has an interest?
Come on, Harold.
I kind of like the system as it sits, but
Okay.
maybe next year.
All right. You obviously, neither Mr. Anderson or I can make a motion for ourselves. So I guess we need to have a motion in place.
Well, do you guys want to like give a little speech of why you should be the chairman, or sell us on it?
Well, I think in the issue of keeping to the agenda, might want to travel down that lane right now.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, let's stick to it's not on the agenda, so I don't know if we can do that or not.
It is on the agenda.
Chair
Yes, I just
position
see that.
election.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Well, there you go.
Harold's the vice chairman right now, correct?
No,
Yes.
actually, Scott's the vice chairman.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not exclusive to the whole element. I think I'm pretty organized as far as the structure behind it and the experience with it. Mr. Anderson has been a port warden longer than me, so that's a good element in the equation. I sort of leave it up to you guys.
I'm kind of comfortable the way it's sitting. Either way is good.
I'll say that
I don't know. I'm comfortable the way it's sitting right now, but
The reason I put my hat in the ring is because I've been on the board for quite some time, and I've had the benefit of seeing some other chairmen go about how they do it, and everybody's done a great job. And I think it's just time for me to try something new and raise up a little bit.
I'll say I like the idea of rotating the chairman from year to year to keep things from getting stagnant or just mixing it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
But that said, Robert, I think you do a great job. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with both.
So I'm semi with Harold. I think my only, it's hard to make a decision when put on the spot. I'm kind of with Harold. One concern with Scott would be that you're not always at the meeting, so that would require you to
I
be
missed
there.
one meeting last year. I missed one meeting
That's it?
last year. Yes.
Okay.
We're kind of put in a difficult situation. We love you both.
Well, we don't have to make a decision tonight, do we? Can we not extend it till next month? Let people think about it.
No, I think we have to.
I don't know. Carrie?
I think we were supposed to do it last meeting, weren't we?
Yeah,
You're
it
supposed to
didn't
do
make
it
it on the
once.
agenda.
You're supposed to do it once a year. I don't think that the code mandates like a specific like in January each year, but don't quote me on that. If you want to postpone it to the next meeting, I don't necessarily see a problem with that. But also keep in mind that you have to do chair and vice chair. So currently both the chair and vice chair put their hats in the ring. So it says chair election on the agenda, but it also encompasses the vice chair position.
And how do we make this decision? Do someone have to make a motion?
Yeah, so someone could make a motion that's, says I move to nominate Mike Meekins as chair and Carrie Berger as vice chair, and then get a second on it and go from there.
Okay.
Or you could separate it out and do chair and get a motion on that and get a vote on that, and then do vice chair, do a motion on that, and you don't necessarily have to have it as a package deal.
Okay. And are they correct that Mr. Anderson and Mr. Shapiro cannot vote?
No, they can vote. It's as the current chair,
They can't make a
Robert is
motion.
not able to make a motion. He
Right.
can
I'll make
second a motion,
okay.
but he can't make a motion.
But he
I'll make
can
a
vote
motion
for
to-
himself.
Yes.
Okay.
So can we make a motion to postpone till next meeting?
What's the rest of the board think? Jared?
What's the advantage of making a motion to do it next meeting? Are we gonna then hear from the two of you on why you want to be board chairman, or what?
Well, I think we
Or
just
are we
did.
just
You're
gonna
right. I'm just
think
trying to,
about it, or
Well, I
that's
think it
what
was
I was
just kind of,
thinking, you know?
I think it was kind of just thrown at us just sudden though. I mean, normally we would have just
right,
continued on as we had before, but this is kind of sudden. So, we don't want to,
right,
I don't want anybody to feel awkward or, all of a sudden, because as I said, we love you both. So it's just a sudden thing, and you may
so
have
it gives
better.
all the board members a month to think about it and
There's no
come back
rush.
with. Right. Okay.
That's all.
I'm fine with that.
So
So
Carrie, this can be postponed.
Sorry, there was a motion that Harold made. It hasn't been seconded, so it does need to be seconded in order for you
I'll
guys.
second that motion. I'll second that motion. I can do that, right?
Yep, you can do that
Okay, and the motion is to postpone it by 1 month, correct?
to the next meeting. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. All right. All those in favor of postponing the nomination or election of the chair and vice chair for the Port Wardens will be postponed till the next meeting. All those in favor, please state aye or yes.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. That was unanimous. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next element, which is nothing falls in old business this year, which is good. So new business, the next item on the agenda is Port 2026-0001, 7040 Bemby Beach Road, and it's to construct construction of a break wall and living shoreline to restore the beach area in front of the bulkhead that is eroded away. I need the TV tech to bring all parties to, I need to make sure your video is on and obviously your audio is on, because we are going to have to swear you in. So anyone speaking to this particular matter, if you could please make sure your video and audio is on. Okay, all right, Mr. Bollinger. Let's go ahead, and if you could raise your right hand, and we'll go ahead and swear you in. You do solemnly swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give to the Port Wardens is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Your audio seems to be muted, or we're not getting the sound. But I did see your hand go up, and I did see your mouth move, but saying I do. But is anyone else hearing anything?
No.
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 Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. We've got no.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, we do.
Okay. The magic
Okay.
of technology. My apologies. My answer was I do.
Oh, yeah, that's what. Okay, thank you very much. All right, as a preliminary, the board will accept into record the application packet, the staff report, and public comments. Mr. Meekins, can you present any additional information about the written staff report and confirm any existence of public comments, et cetera?
Yeah, I have no updates to the staff report. There were two public comments that were made by actually the same person who would like to deliver or said they would like to deliver live testimony. The property was properly posted, advertised in the newspaper, and I will defer to the applicant to speak on the mailings.
Okay. And obviously we see we get those public comments. And if there's something procedural, we need to address it so that we're not sort of wasting, too much time in the equation. And we certainly don't want an application flat out rejected, because then you have to restart the process versus potentially withdrawing and postponing. From my understanding is the notification did not go out in the published 10-day period. Is that accurate or inaccurate?
The notification as in the newspaper or where?
No, the letter to a neighbor within 500 feet.
They were all hand delivered immediately upon notification.
Okay, and what is the written, what does the application say?
The application is what is before the Board of Port Wardens.
No, the application say about the notification time frame.
Well, they were all hand delivered.
Okay, Mr. Meekins, how does the
The date were delivered.
how is it written? As far
So
as
in the application and in the code, I'll read from the application instructions. When you apply at least 10 days prior to the hearing, you must notify by mail all property owners within 150 feet if your application is for a working boat yard or private pier with 4 or fewer slips, or within 500 feet for all other applications.
okay.
And
All right, Mr. Bollinger, it was hand delivered, I believe, 5 days prior.
I don't know the exact date.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I've been on vacation and it was all done before I left town. So
The dates.
it was three people. It's Steve Bemby, Peter Sari, and Annapolis Landing Marina are the three entities within 500 feet of the Crab Adaptive Boating Center.
Okay.
Mr.
And
Chair,
not all property owners were home.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, real quick, there's he's listed as public testimony, but Peter Sari has his hand raised in the attendees. I'm not sure if he's relevant to this. If you want to hear from
He
him.
is. I believe he is, and I'm sorry. I thought we had let in everyone who was going to speak to this matter.
Okay, I'll bring him in now.
And I'm going to have to swear him in very quickly. All right, Mr. Sari, can you turn on your camera, please? As well as your microphone is muted. Mr. Sari, can you? Oh, you're probably struggling to do it, so I'm just going to repeat it. There we go. There we go. And if you're still muted.
Still muted. Okay, you want to put this in?
Now I can
it
hear
has
you.
nothing to do with that.
Now I can hear you. All right, thank you very much. All right, just very quickly, let me swear you in. Please raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you are about to give the Port Wardens is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, if you could speak to the notification process, it's supposed to be in the mail within 10 days prior. It was hand delivered.
Right. Okay, so I was looking for it. I get the Port Warden agenda by email. I started looking for it immediately. Did not receive it until I forget the exact date, but it was 5 days before today.
It's here,
2/19/26, and it was in the mailbox. It had not been mailed. Somebody had just put it in there, which isn't really mailing. First of all, second of all, it was not, within 10 days prior to this meeting. So I feel like I kind of made a hurried response. to this agenda item.
Okay. All right. So,
And,
you
and
know,
let me, can I add to that? Another matter is, for anything, I believe this is within 5 feet of the lateral line. Also, that's it. I mean, I can't tell because the drawings don't show the lateral lines, but it looks like it's right on the lateral
well, that
line.
would be right now we're trying to determine if the procedures to actually submit the application were done accurately, because we want to
I
give
got you on
Mr.
that.
Bollinger the opportunity to potentially withdraw it versus going through the whole presentation and then being denied because the process was not accurate.
Okay, understood. All I was trying to say is that
No,
he also
well,
needs
we
to be
would
clear
do
on
that
the
when we get to that. I hear what you're saying. All right. So, Mr. Bollinger, do you have any kind of, I guess do you have any proof that this went in the mail? Obviously not. You stated it was hand delivered, and you're not aware of the date you delivered it.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. I might suggest to you that you voluntarily postpone it, which we can take a vote and do that very easily. And then that way it just resets the clock for you. Okay. And that way it'll show up in the next meeting versus us hearing it. And then we can't leave things obviously that procedurally are not in place, because it can get, sort of, obviously.
Potential.
So we'd rather have you save the time than potentially have it go and having to be redone entirely.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you very much. I guess, Carrie, all we need is a motion to postpone this.
Yeah, you can do a motion to postpone it to the next meeting.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to postpone till the next meeting.
All right. Thank you
Okay.
very much. I got a second from Mr. McCopp. All right. All those in favor of postponing port 20, so let me go to the right thing. Sorry, port 2025 dash
I have a question before you do that.
Yes.
Is if he's voluntarily withdrawing it, then there's no need for motion at all, is there?
He should not have to withdraw the application, because then
He's
going through the whole
postponed.
submission process again, that's not what's the issue here. The issue is a procedural, just making sure that adequate notice within the timing requirements have been met. So there's nothing, it's easier, more efficient, and more cost effective to just postpone it to the next meeting so that he can provide the notice within the 10-day requirement versus withdrawing the application and then having to resubmit the application.
Okay. So so we do have a motion that was seconded, and all those in favor of postponing port 2026-0001 7040 Bemby Beach Road, please state aye or yes.
All right.
Aye. All right, that was unanimous. All right, thank you very much. All right. The next,
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
quick question.
yes.
I assume that the notification that's been provided meets the criteria for the next meeting.
I would, now that with Michael and Carrie here, I do believe it has to officially go through the mail, not just be put in a mailbox. So it actually has a date stamp with a postage, but Carrie probably can speak better to the exact specifics.
The reason we hand delivered it is because the Eastport post office is the worst in the state of Maryland, and I couldn't bet a nickel on it ever getting there in some cases, and that's why hand delivering it, I knew it was delivered.
But you didn't even recall what day it was delivered. If it had a postmark stamp, which most post offices, even Eastport, can put a postmark on it. So I appreciate that, but it's the system is in place to have the accountability in place, and that's the procedure. But Carrie probably knows more about the detail of putting it in the mail.
So the code requirement does say mailed, but it also says confirmation of the date. And since the hearing date has changed, that does put a new requirement to mail out the notice of the new date. So what's already been provided does not count anymore.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, let's move on to the next item on the agenda. Let me first read it. The next item on the agenda is Port 2025-00016 32 Williams Drive, and it's to replace an in-kind 6 by 63 foot pier with a 10 by 21 foot platform, 2 mooring piles, 1 boat lift, associated piles, and to replace an in-kind 19-foot walkway. Can the tech, anyone please in there that is part of this particular port application, please wave your hand and let it be known, and let's go ahead. Anyone who's speaking to it will bring you in and then swear you in. Okay, Mr. Baltazar, are you the only one for this particular matter?
Yes.
Okay, all right, great. All right, let me swear you in very quickly, and we'll go ahead and move forward with the application. All right, please raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you are about to give to the Port Wardens is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's go ahead to Mr. Meekins. The board will accept into record the application packet, the staff report, and any public comments. If Mr. Meekins can present any additional information about the written staff report, as well as any existence of public comments, things like that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. One small edit to the staff report in under the analysis number 4. I had written the project does encroach within the 5-foot lateral line. I need to include the word not encroach. It does not encroach. So that was an error on my part. There were no public comments received for this application. And the property was posted, advertised in the newspaper, and the mailings went out in a timely manner.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Baltazar, if I can have you describe or go through the application, the critical elements. But first, can you speak to your qualifications at presenting this, either as a property owner doing it yourself, or if you're a consultant for this particular topic? That would be great.
Yeah, so we're a consultant. I work at Waterfront Engineering, Design, and Construction. I have a associates in architecture, working towards my bachelor's.
Okay.
I'm working at the company for about 2.5 years now. So I have a little bit of experience and background on this.
Okay. All right. And if you want to share any screens as you discuss it, that would be great. If you could just give us a brief overview, that would be helpful.
Yes, give me 1 sec. I'm on my personal computer.
I can, if need be, I can share an image. If you just point to the correct number, I can move the image around. Obviously, it's easier if the mouse is in your hand, but I can help.
Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and share. Here we go. All right, tell me that everyone can see this. Let me expand it a little bit, and I can enlarge. I can move my mouse. Just tell me sort of what page you would like me to start with.
You can go to page 7.
Page 7. Okay, hold on. Are they marked?
Yes, it would be the proposed site plan sheet.
Okay, so you're using the Adobe page 7 number, this one?
No, it's the sheet number.
Okay, sheet number.
So you're on 1 now.
Okay, all right, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. And does anybody need it enlarged, or are we okay?
I think he wanted 7.
Yeah, page the proposed one.
Okay. This is 6 of 15. Here we go. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so this project is for the replacement in kind 6 by 63 foot pier with a 10 by 21 foot platform, 2 mooring piles, 1 boat lift, and associated piles, and also for the replacement in kind of a 19-foot walkway.
Okay.
Essentially, we're just going to be repairing the existing pier, raising it to avoid damage from flooding.
Okay. Effectively the same footprint, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. And the pilings are existing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Great. Any other unique elements, or everything seems to be straightforward?
There was there is a 6 by 5 foot River Jacks channel where there is an outfall pipe in between the property lines of Lee Sung and Olga Dominguez. 32
Right.
Williams Drive, yes, and 34 Williams Drive.
Okay. All right. And is any work being done on that during this project or no?
Yes, that the 6 by 5 River Jacks channel is going to be added to defer the water coming out of it to protect the living shoreline that was added.
Okay. All right. I guess let's go ahead and anything more you want to add to this? I'll leave it up while we're talking.
No, that was all.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I could just interject, the Port Wardens previously heard the case for 34 Williams Drive.
Right.
So just be aware that there's, if not now, going to be construction on that property, maritime construction. So
yeah, I do recall that. That's why I didn't get into the 6 by 5 River Jack, because I know we had discussed a little bit of that. It seems to be right on the latter line. All right. There's no public testimony, I assume. There's no one else in this meeting for that matter, and there was nothing submitted, so there's no need for any rebuttal. I really don't have too many questions. I mean, the piling looks like it's right on the setback line, but it's probably been there for years, and it doesn't look like it intrudes on the other person's use of their respective pier, because they're already so close to what their setback would be. I guess any questions or any comments from the Port Wardens, or mostly questions, really? Do you guys have anything, Mr. Siegel, Mr. Lerner, Mr. Kopp, Mr. Anderson?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I really don't have any questions. I think it's a straightforward sort of in-kind replacement. And it's a tight area down there, but it seems like everyone works well together. I know we've had the property next to us just recently in front of us, and so I think and this should be relatively smooth. I really don't have any more questions. No more questions. If none, then I declare the public hearing for Port 2025-00016 32 Williams Drive closed. We can discuss the criteria. I don't believe anything is at issue with the the navigation, or it's already, when you say congested, it's not really a massively navigable down all the way up where that is. It's of course fine on the harbor line, and as well as everything seems to be fine as far as all the setbacks our concerns. So, 15, 16, 20 is fine. It's done with materials, sufficient materials. Again, nothing with navigation. So 15, 16, 20 is also fine in that section. Um, there's no marine life issue in the elements. So 15, 16, 30 is fine. And as we said, it meets all the developable waterway, lateral line, everything's acceptable. So 15, 18, 80 is fine. I would suggest that, or I'd entertain a motion to approve or deny the application for Port 2025-00016 32 Williams Drive. Can I have an
Motion
application?
to approve.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kopp. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All right, Mr. Anderson, thank you very much. All right, all those in favor to approve the motion in the application Port 2025-00016, please state aye or yes.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's unanimous. Thank you. All right, the motion is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we can move forward. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
I had a question. There's been some mention or talking, reading something about mooring balls being changed or something. Is that anything that'll be affecting us?
That's on the agenda for tonight for you guys to discuss.
I'm sorry?
That's on the agenda tonight for you guys to discuss.
Oh, okay.
0226.
Yeah, that was put on the updated agenda.
Okay, let me find, I'm going off of what I prepared from the prior agenda, not prior, but the initial one. Let me open that up. And I should have had that open prior. Let me go ahead and find that real quick. Hold on.
I can share the ordinance if you want.
That would be great.
Is that legible?
Yes.
All right. So basically, what was put under miscellany for the updated agenda is basically that first paragraph.
Okay.
So it was, I'll just speak briefly on it. Not super familiar with it winding its way to us, but it's by request of the harbor master, introduced by the mayor, Littman. And it was referred to both the Environmental Matters Committee, which I don't know if they have they've opined on it yet due to their schedule, and then it was also referred to the Port Wardens, and that's why it's here. There are a couple graphics, and if you would like, I can scroll through this.
Yeah, if you can. The way it was described to me when I was reviewing it with the port warden is something to the effect of the 75-foot measurement was originally written into code based on the distance from basically a vessel to the shoreline or someone's pier. And so they stuck with it in describing that measurement in the mooring requirement, but it doesn't necessarily work with a mooring field mooring to mooring because the way a boat could swing. So they just needed to clean up the language in the code so that it by default wasn't making our mooring fields out of code. Is that semi-accurate, or that's the way I was explained to me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I don't know. Carrie might be able to speak a little bit on this, but yeah, it's essentially. Let me scroll through here.
I,
Uh,
I'm happy to sort of say something, but I see Alderman Thorpe with his hand up and flailing a little
oh,
bit, so he might
Sorry,
want to
he's out of
contribute.
my image when there's a shared thing. Alderman, if you could give us some of your input, that would be great.
Sure. The city council had a long conversation about this last night. Um, there's two elements to this legislation. The first is what the chairman was just describing, which is a wording change that is just cleaning up the code and where you measure the 75 feet from, because the way it's previously written, there's it's 75 foot from a boat rather than 75 foot from the mooring. Um, and so that's not the issue, though, that's at hand for the port warden. And it was referred last night by the city council to the port wardens. I would ask you, Mike, to go back to the legislation if you could, and down to the bottom of the legislation, the last line. That's right there. Item C, private moorings. Private moorings are not permitted in city waters. A woman testified yesterday that she owns a private mooring on Weems Creek. Um, Deputy City Manager Giles testified and as to whether there are or are not private moorings in Annapolis waters. As you all probably know better than I, Weems Creek has some Anne Arundel County water and some Annapolis water. The do out that the mayor asked Deputy City Manager Giles to do was to provide a report on what, in fact, private moorings are available in city waters, which I think will also draw into awareness about where the line is and what's in county waters and what is not. The port wardens clearly don't have that report yet. I think the mayor's going to look to the port wardens for a recommendation on this as we go forward. And it's really the issue comes down to, are there currently privately owned moorings in city waters? And if so, would this legislation require those people who parenthetically have purchased those from previous owners to give them up? Or are there no private moorings, and this just codifies the current situation? That also led into a second conversation that will probably be in the bailiwick of Kerry and the harbor master, is whether the code, I asked the question, does the code accurately and completely describe the method for which to move mooring balls in the city of Annapolis? It was verbally testified that the policy is that the harbor master recommends it to the port wardens. The port wardens is the city residents' opportunity to testify, and the port wardens are the city's approval at the city level, but it also goes to the state level, Corps of Engineers, Army Corps of Engineers, and I guess was it MDE. Um, and so so I scanned the code earlier today, and I do believe we probably need to. I didn't find anywhere in it, and we probably need to do a deeper dive than I've already done. But we need to make sure, in light of all of the discussions about moving mooring fields in Annapolis, we need to make sure the code accurately represents what we believe to be the policy and what we want to be the policy. So Mike or Carrie might be able to add to that, but that's my take on it. This ends up to be a fairly significant policy task for the port wardens.
So, Alderman, would there be an opportunity for existing moorings that are not city to be grandfathered in if they're already existing, or they would just get rid of them?
Jared, great question. Did not address it. But the discussion last night was, first we need to figure out um, are there in fact private moorings? I mean, a woman testified she owns one, but we did not get to the point of does she own it because over generations people were selling it thinking they owned it, or does she not? We didn't get anywhere near that, Jared. So it would
Okay.
take a while for that's the next phase in the conversation. Or actually,
And
let me
the
rephrase that. That's part of the conversation because what the discussion was last night was it's very different if to say there are no private moorings allowed, if in fact there are already no private moorings. But if there already are, then your question is very pertinent.
I don't know if it's relevant, but is the reason to be moving these mooring balls around is because they want larger boats in these mooring fields in St. Mary's and other places?
Yeah, I'm not the one to answer that question. I think that's the harbor master.
And actually, does this legislation actually talk about changing the positioning of the mooring buoys as they are now?
This legislation does not. It's future legislation or future initiatives that the harbor master is, it wouldn't be legislation. The harbor master is looking to move mooring balls in some of the mooring fields. And the topic of the conversation last night was who has the authority to approve that from the city level? And that was you.
Can they offer them to add mooring buoys or take some away? Where does that fall? Is that under our purview?
It starts with the recommendation of the harbor master if we're talking about the waters of Annapolis, okay? And then it comes to us to actually discuss and approve and make sure it sort of works in. And the first part of what we've discussed is just getting the wording correct on the code so that we can follow a good guideline and rule. Is effectively, I think the motive behind it is just to clean things up. I will say this second part. Number one, Alderman, I'm so glad to see an actual GIS image with a line on it. There's already an ad hoc committee because there's almost no official harbor line. We're working with onion skins where the width and so there's a process right now of trying, and we're hoping the city can get their stuff together to get an official published like there used to be web version of the particular harbor line. And again, I'm so glad to see that you guys have something with a line. And I'm assuming this red line is actually official and surveyors have actually put that in to delineate. I will say something about mooring fields, and I do think this has importance for us. There's already an operating agreement with the city and the council. I'm sorry, with the city and the county that says that the harbor masters have the right to patrol and enforce most elements on Weems Creek, even if it's in Anne Arundel County waters. That has done wonders. We used to have derelict vessels all over Weems Creek. We had year-round dockers who didn't necessarily, their boats became derelict and would have to get towed away and destroyed. They've actually done a good job of cleaning up, but also understand, in particular with Weems Creek, getting this correct, I think, is critical for the value of moorings, honestly, in any respective mooring field. If you don't have a constant system or engineered sort of mooring ball anchorage element. The helicoil is what the city does, which is fantastic. We have chain size requirements that match the size of the vessel. Having a mooring field half and half, people who literally have cinder blocks just tied to a rope and some chain to a little hippity hop ball, okay, that they're calling a mooring, will become that one vehicle in a roll on, roll off automobile carrier from Germany and having one car not tied down appropriately. As soon as you get a storm in one of these fields. So here we are, the city of Annapolis, charging what we charge for moorings and then creating a circumstance where half the field has no specifications at all for the type of moorings that are there. So I would hope Alderman, you would have to be, it would be someone from the city that also engages with the county to say, look, we're already enforcing these elements. Yes, no one wants to take property that belongs to someone else, and it should, but at some point there might have to be a 10-year or 20-year game plan to try to encourage the concept that we may have to follow city rules in that respective area versus just half of it being almost no rules. Because I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this, but I believe the county is, as long as it's not in navigable water, someone can choose to put a particular anchor of their choosing in that respective spot. Obviously, who would want to do something unsafe for their vessel? But it does happen. There have been times where during storms, boats have had to get towed, banging up against that Spa Creek Bridge right in the lower portion of this image. So this has a wider impact. Initially, I think we do have to clean up the language because all of our mooring fields, we have to use the right language to describe what our distances are. But it is something to consider. Another thing about this red line is understanding the swing circle. And that's why, again, we need to deal with the county, because if someone's mooring ball on half of Weems Creek swings out to the center, one, they're going to be in navigable water, but two, they're going to be crossing over to Annapolis water. So how do we engage in that? As you can see, there are some where the swing circle would have to probably be in truly navigable water, and that would take the county to help with sort of rectifying that as well. I don't mean to go on a sandbox. I'm just stating there are a lot of elements that New England towns that have lived with mooring fields for centuries have dealt with and have a really good game plan to make sure all the vessels that are on mooring balls are safe in their waters. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I would ask Carrie and Mike if they agree with us that I think, this was 24 hours ago. The city council had the discussion and the mayor tasked Deputy City Manager Giles to create a report. What, again, based on, I'd ask for Mike and Carrie to opine on this, but it seems to me that that report, once provided to the mayor, should be provided to the port wardens, and the port wardens should then have this conversation, and that based on that, it is premature for the port wardens to opine on the current legislation because of that last line. The rest of the legislation, I think, is just cleaning up code, but the last line, I don't. And then the other thing, and I would recommend is that Mr. Chairman, you invite Deputy City Manager Giles and the Harbor Master to your meeting and let them explain this and where they are.
Okay.
I'd just like to add one thing. There is evidence of private moorings just in the city code 1510, 110. That section describes private moorings, and that they shall only be utilized by vessels for which valid private mooring permits have been obtained. So I don't know if the city has I don't know what the process is for obtaining a private mooring permit. If there was one, now there isn't, or what, but it seems by permit it is allowed in the code.
I'm sorry,
So
John.
I'm going to jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm going to jump in really quick. It's unfortunate that no one from the Harbor Master's office is here tonight. I do know that they were aware that this was on the agenda, or at least Deputy City Manager Giles was aware of it. And I think it probably is better to have them come and speak to it. I know that there has been some, since the city council meeting last night, there have been some requested amendments to be made. And some of that addresses what you're talking about, Jonathan, with the private mooring. And I don't want to misspeak, but my understanding from Deputy City Manager Giles is what she's looked into so far as it relates to whether or not there's an existence of private moorings is that there is not. There was some confusion maybe in some of the testimony last night as to the specific location, whether it's in the city or the county waters, and a misunderstanding on the part of another member who spoke before the city council. But I think she's in a far better position to speak to that more intelligently than I am. So I think if you guys want more information, you certainly have the ability to postpone making a decision on this legislation to the next meeting, and a request to Deputy City Manager Guild or the Harbor Master, or both, can be made to have them attend the next meeting to answer any questions that you guys have. But there are some amendments in the works as well, and whether or not you guys want to be aware of those amendments and things like that to be fully informed on the legislation, I think is a wise decision to postpone.
It's 15-10-110 is the city
Correct.
code.
Yep. Yep.
I just found it. Yep.
So basically, right now, we're just getting information. We don't have to make a decision. There's no decisions to be done right now.
You have to, well, what's before you guys right now is to make a recommendation as to the legislation, but you can also, as I just said, postpone any recommendation to the next meeting.
Yeah, let's postpone it.
Yeah, can we get a,
To put a
postpone?
finer point on that, the city council is looking for your recommendation on this legislation. And as Carrie points out, we don't have all the information today. So this is, we are looking for when the amendments are provided and you have the legislation, the city council will rely on your recommendation.
All right, and we more than willing and happy to do that, but obviously, you know, we need the valid information. I mean, what was it? Less than 24 hours?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How do we request that the harbor master and the assistant city manager appear before us? Is this just something just request?
We first invite them. I don't think we have to. You know, I think I can simply send them.
I will make I will make sure that they're aware. I'll send them an email right now.
Okay. Okay, so we'll add it to. Will it be added to miscellany or added to old business for next agenda?
Both.
I don't think it matters.
Let Mike deal with that.
Old miscellany.
Okay. So, and we don't even have to take a vote on what we're discussing now because it's in miscellany.
No, I would
Make a
postpone.
motion.
I would postpone it. Make a motion to postpone a recommendation or a decision or just the legislation to the next meeting.
Okay. Can I get a motion to postpone this until we gain a little more facts?
I'll make the motion.
All right. Mr. Anderson, I see your hand up. So, Mr. Siegel, you got the motion. Mr. Anderson, was that a second? Sorry, you're
Second.
okay.
Yes.
Your video is getting okay. All right, thank you. So, a second for Mr. Anderson. All right, all those in favor of postponing any decision related to the mooring requirements of the city until we get more facts, and we're gonna please state aye or yes.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. That's unanimous, I believe. All right. Okay. All right, let me get back. And I do apologize. I built the structure I used to follow, and it wasn't it wasn't with the amended agenda that came out later than when I prepped. So all right. Is there any other any else for the good of the order?
Yeah, if we wanted to look at what other cities have done in terms of their mooring enforcement and city code, would we have to submit that as public comment, or as Port Wardens, would we just email it out to everybody? How does that work from the Port Wardens perspective?
We could probably request the harbor master potentially to provide, or Mr. Meekins may have like comparable roles or just in contacts wise for what he does in other cities. Or if we aggregate, I guess we can, if one of us attains, you know, a particular legitimate city document from, you know, a Nantucket or a Mystic, or, you know, a town similar that has both transient year-round or year-round mooring leases as well as transient, as well as possibly private, we that might be helpful to us, but it's really the business of the harbor master to be on top of what gets recommended, in my opinion, to the city, and then we take a look at it and sort of affirm. But any other thoughts, Mr. Meek?
So board members and Mr. McCobb, obviously the harbor master is one of the sponsors or requested this, and it was introduced by the mayor. I actually have a meeting with the harbor master on Thursday on another topic. The other topic happens to be digital harbor lines, which we've danced around, and it looks like we're getting closer to cementing that. I can certainly bring it up to her, and maybe not at that meeting, but schedule another meeting to find out, what kind of background, what kind of research they have done, because I would presume that they have looked at existing conditions in other jurisdictions that might be influencing the necessity for them to voice this, to move this ordinance forward. So I can certainly circle back with everyone here on the meeting tonight after that meeting via email and let you know what I find out.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. All right. The next regular meeting will be March 24th, 2026. There being no other items on the agenda, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Siegel. Can I get a second?
Yeah.
Who?
And thank our alderman for helping out tonight.
We'll do.
Okay.
Who was the second on that? I'm sorry, I didn't see a hand or.
Mr. McCobb.
Mr. McCobb. Okay, thank you. I had this Zoom. I don't know if anyone else has the same problem I do. Someone has to actually speak loud enough for their image to appear within the primary 6 at the top. Otherwise, I can't see a hand gesture or even a mouth move. So I wonder if there's a different format. I'll talk to Josh about this offline and see if there's a better way to use Zoom on
Did
this.
you maximize your Zoom screen?
Yeah. All
So
right,
you can see all 9
I'll
people?
play with that. I think because when I get video presentation, it goes to making the primary the center, and then I guess I got to automatically change it to all like Brady Bunch,
In
That's really
in
weird.
that light in that light too, we talked about having in-person meetings, and sometimes it might be better for an extended discussion for us to schedule a meeting in person versus the Zoom type of thing too. So
Yeah, that would be great.
particularly like the one coming up.
Yeah, I mean I got to check with the city because we've actually never had since COVID an on-prem meeting. I will talk to Mr. Meekins tomorrow about what the procedure is. Like, do we schedule a room at City Hall?
So I can speak to that really quickly, but I'm also going to say to you, if you want to meet in person while I'm still acting city attorney, there are very slim chances that I'm going to be at the Port Wardens meetings because I am just way too busy. And
can we do hybrid anyway? I mean, I'm a big fan.
You can, and I do appreciate these meetings being virtual right now because it actually allows for me to be in my house working at night as opposed to out somewhere else working. But the process generally is you do have to clear with the TV studio to make sure that the TV studio is capable of doing it. And also, usually these meetings occur in council chambers. So you'd have to make sure that council chambers are not being utilized for something else. Generally, the boards and commissions of the city are all virtual with the exception of some of our land use boards, like the Board of Appeals, Planning Commission, Building Board of Appeals when called upon, and maybe the Historic Preservation Commission. But a lot of the boards right now are still in that virtual, but you can do hybrid. Sometimes you can go.
And Carrie, I actually completely agree with you that this is for modern business life, unless you're retired, a fabulous platform. But I do also agree with Mrs. Siegel. It might be nice to have one every once in a while, but it can be hybrid. So I will talk to Mr. Meekins and figure out a way that we wouldn't do it in person unless it could accommodate those that wanted to come in virtually. In my opinion, I think that's almost a necessity. For it to be recorded this way, I mean, to give you a good stat, just so Mr. Siegel realized this, I saw a stat 2 years ago of the amount of times the actual Port Wardens YouTube meeting has been seen by multiple people. It's like a 10x or a 15x compared to any other historical time that someone requests minutes before actually having recordings air. Okay. So not only does it help the live real time capability of to be a working human that might have to travel, might have to sort of have all these roles for a volunteer position. It also does help with the public and their ability to see what we're doing, but also what we've done. So it is. I'm not going to be advocating that we move, in any way unless it had moved to on-prem, unless it had that capability to be hybrid. Okay, that's my personal opinion, but all right.
A motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting.
Please. All right. Yeah. Can I get a second?
Second, I'll second.
All right.
Second.
Fantastic. Mr. Anderson, all those in favor, please state aye or yes.
Aye.